A big weather pattern change is hitting this week as we get these two cold fronts coming through, and the one for the weekend is still going to be a cold Arctic blast bringing in freezing temperatures and very cold wind chills as well, maybe even a chance of snow across the Tennessee, Kentucky, Ohio Valley. And still showing after we go through the first week of April that another cold blast is coming through from the west, transitioning all the way across the eastern United States. Now this is going to bring a colder scenario for April. Not a lot of freezing temperatures, that will stay towards north, but it will bring cooler temperatures and get rid of this heat and start bringing in a lot of snow from the west, potentially feet of snow. So we'll go through that in today's video. Now we still have this clipper that's moving through, bringing the chance for severe weather for today, even the chances for tornadoes, and this green 2% right here for Ohio going through Pennsylvania. This is bringing a threat for tornadoes, but I think it's mostly going to be a hail event where you're going to get a lot of hail out of these storm systems. As we go through the evening, it's going to transition from the northeast towards the Tennessee, Kentucky, Ohio Valley. Now you can see this when you look at your atmosphere, when you look at your cape. This is food for your thunderstorms to grow. And as we go through the evening and the early afternoon, there's going to be a lot of instability all the way from Illinois towards Pennsylvania to help support these thunderstorms. But as you go through the evening, it's going to push down towards the Tennessee, Kentucky, Ohio Valley and still bring you chances for thunderstorms as you go through later into the evening after these storms leave. Showing our tornado threat could stretch a little bit towards Ohio, Kentucky Valley, everybody. Look as we go through the evening as these storms build up, and you can see where our significant tornado perimeters right along that line of storms building up from Ohio, going through Pennsylvania is where you could get a quick spin up all the way towards 6 and 7 o'clock. After you get to 6 and 7 o'clock, all the instability is moving towards the Tennessee, Kentucky Valley, and this is where you still have a chance for a possible spin up. Showing these supercells could be discrete as we go through the evening for a quick moment over here through Indiana, Ohio, then moving further south into Kentucky where it just turns into possibly some winds or hail. So showing first, it will start with our chance for discrete cells moving through from Ohio, going through for Pennsylvania, bringing you that tornado threat as well. Then as it goes through the evening for Ohio through Indiana, showing chances for tornadoes, showing a possible discrete supercell could pop up there as well, as we still have this instability bringing these storms, everybody, as you go through the evening. So it could pose a danger threat as we go through the evening past Pennsylvania into Indiana and Ohio before it turns into a linear event of damaging winds and bring a lot of chances of hail in these storms. I'm showing there's a lot of chances for hail. You can see this here all the way from Indiana, Ohio, going through Pennsylvania, bringing chances for hail with those storms, so be aware. So as of right now, our tornado threat is at 2%. I showed you in the beginning of the video going through Ohio and Pennsylvania. So far, here's your cities in Pennsylvania at risk, but you can see southeastern Ohio as well. And we could see a small area later on with another 2% chance for tornadoes. This threat is a wind threat, chances for damage and winds. So here's your cities and states at risk for possible high winds for today. But mostly I'm still showing it's going to be a hail threat for today. Even significant severe chances for 2 inches or greater in diameter. So here's your cities and states at risk for the hail threat for today. And still showing this cold blast coming through for this week, as we'll start for tonight, going through for tomorrow. Remember, this one's going to be the weaker one of the two, bringing anywhere from 5 to 10, almost 15 degrees below average for the Great Lakes, Ohio, Tennessee, Kentucky Valley, out through the northeast, all the way till Tuesday as well. And it could transition a little bit towards the southeast with some very cold wind chills as well as that moves away while you're getting this big cold anomaly through Canada. Then our heat dome is still going to build as we go through for Wednesday into Thursday, when the next one comes through all the way for Thursday even into Friday into the weekend, where it's going anywhere from 10 to 15, still 20 degrees below average for Friday, moving through for Saturday as well, and moving through for Sunday out through the East Coast, maybe even lasting till Monday. Still showing our snow and our freezing rain will stay north as we get in this clipper, mostly into Canada, or maybe far northern Minnesota, far northern Wisconsin, the UP, and for New England, Vermont, New Hampshire, and Maine. Could see some mix, even some snow. But showing possibly, as we get in this cool front for the weekend, we could see a transition for snow as well across the Tennessee, Kentucky, Ohio Valley. Now this will, and you can see this on the latest snowfall totals with the GFS, showing more likely your snowfall will still stay far northern, also into Canada. But we could see that swath of snow coming through as we get in that blast for this weekend. Now I'm going to update you on the temperatures that you can expect, everybody. Then I'm going to show you the weather pattern we're going into right after this for April. So for today, for Sunday, for your highs, you're still going to be in the 90s, even 100 degrees over here for Texas and for the Southwest, while the 80s goes all the way towards the Tennessee, Kentucky, Ohio Valley. The northern side of the lower 48 will stay cooler. Now for tomorrow morning, this is the weaker one of the two, but here's the first cold blast coming through, bringing the freezing temperatures and bringing a cold wind chill with it as well. For a lot of people, if you're not going to be in the 20 degrees, you're going to feel like you're 20 degrees. But once again, for tomorrow, it will warm back up, but the warmth will stay right along the southern half of the lower 48. Everyone else will stay in a cooler anomaly, and you still will stay hot along the southwest. Now for Tuesday, the cold air is coming back down for the Great Lakes out through the northeast with the freezing temperatures and the cold wind chill coming with it as well. You will feel this across the Midwest. And just to show you it is trending, you can see this with the Euro, also with the GFS. And then the later one comes at the end of the week. So as we go through for our highs for Tuesday, you can see the warmth coming right back, bringing the 80s, bringing the 90s, especially across the Southwest. As we go through for Wednesday, this is still going to build towards the central and north central all the way towards Thursday, bringing in those high 90s again. But once again, here comes that cold blast coming through for Friday. It's going to suppress all these warmer temperatures along the south, and it's going to start bringing in the freezing temperatures across the north with a cold wind chill with it. You can see this with the Euro, also with the GFS. The GFS is bringing those wind chills a little bit deeper, everybody. Then Friday, as it warms back up, you can see that cooler anomaly across the central and the northern U.S. All that heat will stay right along the far southern side of the lower 48, unfortunately. Then it's going to come down for Saturday again, bringing more freezing temperatures and more cold wind chills. This is with the Euro. This is with the GFS. Once again, seeing a deeper anomaly. And your highs for Saturday showing it will warm right back up. You will stay in the 40s where freezing temperatures and very cold wind chills was once before. But now you're staying around the 60s and the 70s along the south. Sunday, another cooler anomaly moving through, but this is where it's finishing from the Arctic blast. And you can see with the wind chills as well, it's not a very cold anomaly left by Sunday. This is a Euro. This is the GFS, showing a colder anomaly with the wind chills with the GFS. And our highs for Sunday, it will warm right back up. But once again, you're staying in the 60s and the 70s. But now the 70s are reaching all the way towards Montana, all the way towards the 60s into Canada. But once again, this is your highs for the day, and you're not seeing those crazy hundreds over the southwest. This is a cooler anomaly. Then we're about to go through a whole new weather pattern. And you can see this here from the latest data. So our Arctic oscillation showing this cold air slowly coming through. But once we go through the first week of April and beyond, this cold air is going to stay across the central and the northern half of the lower 48. Still showing we're going to get this somewhat neutral to negative pattern as we go through with our NA, or our North Atlantic Oscillation. This will put a high pressure parking into the Atlantic and swinging around not only warmer temperatures for the southern U.S., that's why I always thought the southern U.S. would be warmer no matter what, but also start bringing in moisture. Well, we'll start bringing in a lot of storms as well. So remember, after the first week of April, we're going to start seeing this change. You can see this when you look with the Euro as that cold blast coming through for this weekend, big high pressure, and as it moves out for Sunday into Monday, it's going to park right over the Atlantic. And when it does that, it's going to bring around precipitation from the Gulf towards the north. And this is going to start bringing in a lot of storms, everybody. But at the same time, it will bring warmer temperatures towards the south as well. And you see how that high pressure just sits there for the first week of April. And still showing we have this cooler anomaly coming through with our polar vortex. So as this comes through towards the end of March, remember it's a week later with your temperatures. This is why you're going to see this after the first week of April. That's how long it takes for these temperatures to hit the ground level. But still showing the polar vortex is still split into two, everybody. You can see this on the update on your temperatures with climate forecast system, the long range forecast, as we go through the first day of April. This is no April Fool's joke, everybody. That we still have these cold blasts coming through from the west that's going to continuously bring cooler temperatures and snow with it as well as we go into the higher ridge because of that high pressure bringing all that heat and all that moisture. bringing storms towards the central and the eastern U.S. But look how it stays in this weather pattern, keeping cooler air coming from the west, going up on that higher ridge. So we're going to continuously see storms building across the south central, the central plains, going across Ohio Valley and the Great Lakes, bringing a severe weather anomaly across the southern half and potential snow anomaly across the northern half. Still, we have to get closer to know for sure, but you can see how it stays in that weather pattern as we go through for April, everybody. Still showing this cold blast is coming right back again. And just moving into the first week of April, you can see how all that precipitation with the cold air is bringing a lot of snow over towards the western U.S. All this is higher elevations of Washington, Oregon, California, going through Utah, Nevada, Wyoming, Colorado, Idaho, and Montana, but showing feet of snow with all the precipitation coming into this cold air. You can see this with the Euro, also with the GFS, showing we could get multiple storms on that higher ridge as well. I will keep you updated. Still showing with our ensembles as we go through April, we're still going to get all that snow coming through from the west, going on that higher ridge, and it could bring more snow across Ohio Valley, across the Great Lakes, and for New England. And that's the pattern we're going into, everybody. You can see this with the Euro, also with the GFS. Also been seeing that Hawaii did get this big flood, everybody, even a lot of evacuations. So I hope they did heed my warnings last week when I told you about this flooding coming. I hope everybody in Hawaii is okay. And that is your latest update of what's happening with this Arctic blast, these cold fronts coming through, and what's happening for April, everybody. So thank you again for your time. Hope you're ready for these temperatures moving through. And those that are in the heat, don't worry, you do have relief coming. Now, before I go, a quick word from our Father, everybody. Romans 8:28. And we know that all things work together for good to them that love God, to them who are the called according to his purpose. Amen. Remember, everybody, always help other people. There's always people doing worse than you are. Believe it or not, even on your worst days, there's always people that's doing bad. So always help other people. It is food for your soul. You will feel so much better just helping another person. And above all things, all glory does go to God, our Father in heaven, Yahweh. And I always hope he keeps you safe every single day of your life. And forever. Amen. Hallelujah. Amen. Have a great day, everybody. I will keep you updated.